So far, we have seen how correlation and regression procedures can be used to analyze the relationships between two variables that are measured at the interval or scale level. Let us now examine how cross-tabulation can be used to analyze the relationship between variables that are measured at the nominal or ordinal levels. Here is the voter file that we've been using all semester. Let me click on the Variable View tab to show that even though the age variable is measured at the the interval or scale level, by collapsing the ages into 4 categories, we have converted that original interval scale variable to an ordinal variable, 4 ordinally ordered categories. The youngest, less than 35 years of age. The second, 35 to 44 years of age. The third, 45 to 64 years of age. The fourth, 65 or older. We also have in the same file the sex variable, which is nominal. We're using the numbers 1 to represent males, the number 2 to represent females. Now, remember, this screen looks different from the screen that you have in front of you in the computer labs at William Patterson University, but the command structure is similar. On the Analyze command, we go to Descriptive Statistics, and on the pull-down menu, there's a Crosstabs option. We click on that, and it will now set up a table for us consisting of one variable arrayed across the rows of the table and the second variable arrayed down the columns of the table. Let's put sex down the columns of the table, and let's put age cat down the rows of the table. Now, before proceeding further, let's take a little look at what these other buttons on this window will do. The statistics button will allow us to carry out certain statistical tests on the data. And the one test that we will be interested in this particular case is chi-square. We will choose chi-square and click Continue. The Cells button will allow us to calculate the percentages of respondents in each of the rows and the columns, as well as the total. We won't do the total for this illustration, but we could if we wanted to. We'll click Continue, and we are at this point pretty much ready, so we click OK, and in the output here is the crosstab table where the first column is the males, the second column is the females, and then the age categories are arrayed from the youngest through the second and third to the oldest ordinal categories. Let's examine the percentages in each of the cells of the table. In the second row of each cell, there is the percentage within the age category. Notice that as we go across this first age category, we come to the total of 100%. This 43.1% tells us that 43.1% of people less than 35 are males. 56.9% are females. The third row in each cell is the percentage within sex. If we go down the column, we come to 100% at the very bottom of the table. This tells us that 23% of the males are less than 23.8% are less than 35 years of age. 23.1% are 35 to 44. 35.1% are 45 to 64. 18% are 65 or older. 24.7% of the females are less than 35. 23.9% are 35 to 44. 31.5% are 45 to 64, and 19.9% are 65 or older. If we examine the cells in the total column, we see this 24.3% represents the percentage of the respondents who are less than 35. This 23.5% is the percentage who are 35 to 44. 45 to 60, 33.1% are 45 to 64, and 19.1% are 65 or over. If we examine the total row, we see that 44.1% of the respondents are male and 55.9% are female. That gives us the frequencies in each of the cells of the cross-tabulation, and it also gives us the percentages broken down by both sex and age category, which gives us a complete description of the sample in terms of its age and sex composition. The chi-square tests at the bottom of this output will be examined in a subsequent class. One final comment is in order. At the top of the output is the case processing summary. This gives us the number and percent of the valid responses in the sample, the number and percent of the missing responses, and then the total number and percent of the responses. In this case, there are no missing responses, and so the valid and the total numbers and percentages are equal. In a follow-up video, we will see what happens if there are missing cases in a particular sample.